to Michelle Rempel Garner. She's our immigration critic. Um, I feel that she's been absolutely wonderful since the campaign. And I think under Poilievre's leadership, she sort of was in the mushy middle there for a little bit. She's real hard line on immigration, and I couldn't be happier to see it. She's calling for the total abolishment of the temporary foreign worker program. Murder it. Get rid of it. Canadian jobs should go to Canadians. And she's published an article to that effect. And if you follow her on X, every single day, she's posting jobs that should be Canadian. Like every day, she's like, here's a job, $36 an hour. It's in management at a Tim Hortons. Should be a Canadian. Tell me why they can't hire a Canadian. I mean, she's showing you the complete and total abuse of the system. And I think she's right. The system is so broken, it cannot be fixed. And the system doesn't serve anybody except the temporary foreign workers. And that's not what it's supposed to do. Wyatt?
I think someone who actually needs a lot of credit on this particular topic is Jamil Javani, because he was the quarterback who kind of, as soon as he got into office, back when maybe there was a bit more of the typical thing that happens after the Conservative Party loses an election, is that the leader kind of recedes into themselves and they get passive, and they're not really hard running on policies because it's like they lose confidence in themselves. And I think Jamil, right after the election, really helped inject some confidence back into the party by immediately calling for an end to the TFW program. And it's obvious. Honestly, I think a lot of this, you have to go after the business community for having been so weak that I'm not anti-business. I am a capitalist, but it's so sad seeing business owners begging for more TFW workers rather than putting pressure on the government saying, how about if you guys are actually, elbows up patriotic Canadians, we have lower corporate tax rates than the Americans so that we can outcompete them. Except instead they tie one arm behind your back and then they just tell you to throw your other elbow up in the air and hopefully, we'll be able to get through the winter.
Yeah, it's true. Angelica, youth unemployment, you're one of the youth. However you are employed, but youth unemployment is out of control in this country. And if you ended the temporary foreign workers program tomorrow, which we should, that's my dream, those jobs would go to Canadian kids. I keep mentioning this all the time, but when you go to your local lube shop, Mr. Lube, Lubex, whatever, those jobs used to be done by 16-year-old kids, basically 16-year-old boys. They're taking mechanics at school or whatever, and this is their way to get skills practice. They're all temporary foreign workers now. The food service jobs that used to go to kids who are in grade 11, 12, it's all temporary foreign workers. What's it like for young people? Is this just a number that we're seeing, or is it real life out there?
No, it is real life. I have a friend who's been trying to get a job for months, and she is unable to. Everywhere that I go, where I regularly go, that'd be Tim Hortons or even just regular ice cream shops in the city. They're all being replaced by temporary workers, usually Indian. Some of them I'm seeing now, a lot of Ukrainians are popping up as well. But I was actually talking to Sid just the other day, and he took a trip out to Jasper this last weekend. And he said that majority of the stores there are now Indian workers. So of course, what we're seeing is these jobs being taken away from Canadians. And in a small town like Jasper, a lot of those people who've grown up are, longtime generational Canadians in those towns. So for those jobs just to be given into new immigrants is honestly insulting.
Yeah, I mean, they have a large temporary foreign worker population in Dubai, but those people never become citizens. There's no social security net, and everybody else is wealthy and they don't want to do those jobs. So I guess importing a slave underclass, I guess, makes economic sense there. But all it does in Canada is drive wages down.
Well, it does make sense if you are artificially creating the need for the temporary foreign workers. So this is all just a hangover from COVID. In COVID, when all the young people were given CERB, remember when they just got to stay home and collect their dollars and do nothing? The government used that as an opportunity to say, well, look, but we have, our labor force needs all of these employees that aren't available because they're all on CERB. And they used that as a pretense for bringing all the temporary foreign workers in. And what we're seeing now with Michelle Rempel Garner, Pierre Poilievre, and mainstream conservatives saying is we need a correction to that terrible time of COVID. Okay, what we did in that time, we did unprecedented things in those times, in those terrible dark times. But now what we need is a correction on immigration. We realize the negative consequences of importing this many people into our country in this tiny little time frame. And what we need is to go backwards now, get our young people their jobs back and take the country back. So anyway.
Absolutely. And it's honestly, it's not even just a matter of our jobs. We're seeing them bringing their ways of life over here. And I'm specifically talking about just how they treat their own country. They're treating our country. I was just in my area a couple of weeks back. I was waiting for food just for takeout. And I was leaning on my brother's car, and all of a sudden I see this vehicle pull up and I hear this rustling. So I peek over and I'm watching as this girl of Indian descent or South Asian was dumping trash out of her car. And I immediately look over, I start filming, and I'm like, guys, like, what's going on? Why are you treating Canada the same way that you're treating your country back home, right? We have certain standards here, and we need you guys to live up to these standards if you're going to be moving over here. And then again, we saw a video that was very similar to that, went viral on a few Instagram accounts for Calgary. Same thing happened. Indian people were dumping trash. Then you have lakes shutting down because of high fecal matter. Chestermere Lake was impacted. Sylvan Lake was impacted. We're seeing this all over Canada.
Yeah, what I like about that video is you're like 90 pounds and like 5'2". And there you are yelling at this couple in their car, and you literally shamed them into picking up their garbage. And let that be a lesson for all of us.